Hey guys, it's me Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Hey guys, today we're going to be going over my August haul. It's been a minute since I've had a haul for you guys, because I've been on a low-key book buying ban just because the summer finances have not been my friends, but we are working more, and I surprisingly got a lot of books in August. So, we're going to go over them. I got about 9 books in August, with one being a book that was given to me, and 2 Fairy Loot books. So let's just get into it. So the first book I have here is The Undermining of Twilight and Frank. This is the sequel to The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, and this follows Twilight and Frank. It is more of a companion than a sequel, and they are both marshals, which after the events of their first book, their jobs are now boring, and they have to solve a mystery. This is a older MCs. I think both of them are parents, and into well past middle age romance. And they're, like, friends. They're, like, best friends. So, I am very excited to get into this when I eventually do. Because I enjoyed the first book. It was a cute, like, comfy romance fantasy. And so I'm intrigued to see what happens in the second one. And this is by Megan Bennett. I'm not going to read the description because it's a sequel. Sequels, I will not be reading descriptions to. So the next book I have was a gift. And that is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I was given this book by my friend, an IRL friend who he collects a lot of books and he gives a lot away, and I was given this book by him, so thank you. This is Forget Me Not, Julie. So what reason I wanted this book, or because he had a bunch of books that was given away, was this book takes place in Sacramento, which is my hometown, so I wanted to read it. So Ama Torres is a wedding planner who doesn't believe in marriage. But weddings, they're amazing. Elliot Bloom is a brooding florist who hates owning a flower shop until a certain bright-eyed, donut-loving workaholic shows up at his door. Once upon a time, they collaborated on an event by day, and by night, Alma traced the intricate flower tattoos etched along his body. Then Alma shattered his heart and never spoke to Elliot again. Now they're working on an event that could make or break both of their careers, except neither of them has gotten over what happened 2 years ago. Things are not helped by the two brides, who see an obvious chemistry between Alma and Elliot and are determined to set them up, not knowing their complicated history. But as the wedding takes on a life of its own, Alma and Elliot are about to discover that things can survive a complete catastrophe. Smart and hilarious, Forget Me Not is about 2 people giving themselves and love a second chance. So I'm excited to get into this when I'm in a romance contemporary mood, because like I said, this takes place in my hometown. So I haven't read any books that do. So the next book we have is Wisteria, which is the final book in the Belladonna trilogy. Belladonna follows a girl who, after being moved from family to family, after each one of her family members mysteriously dies, she notices that her cousin is sick, being poisoned, and she decides that she is going to solve the case. Luckily for her, she can see the personification of death. So I loved book 1, and book 2 was fun, so I'm excited to knock out book 3. And I did go to the author event for this, and I got to signed by Miss Adeline Grace. So love to see that for me. But yeah. So the next book I have was A Sorceress Comes to Call by T.K. Fisher. I believe this is a Goose Girl retelling, and I'm very excited to get into it. Cordelia knows her mother is unusual. Their house doesn't have doors between rooms. There are no secrets in the house, and her mother doesn't allow Cordelia to have a single friend, unless you count Fala, her mother's beautiful white horse. The only time Cordelia truly feels free is on her daily rides with him. But more than a simple eccentricity sets her mother apart. Other mothers don't force their daughters to be silent and motionless for hours, some days on end. Other mothers aren't evil sorceresses. When her mother unexpectedly moves them into the manor house of a wealthy older squire and his kind but keen-eyed sister, Hester, Cordelia knows this welcoming pair are to be her mother's next victim. But Cordelia feels at home for the very first time among these people, and as her mother's plans darken, she must decide how to face the woman who raised her to save the people who have become like a family. And it's got this on the dust jacket, and it's got these cute grid edges. I read my first T.K. Fisher book earlier this year, and it was Nettle and Bone, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to get into this. I'm, like, excited for all these, or I wouldn't have picked them up. The next book I got is Lady Macbeth by Ava Reed. This is one of my anticipated reads. of the releases of the year. So, the lady knows the stories her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knows she will be wed to the Scottish brute, who does not leave his warrior ways behind when he comes to the marriage bed. The lady knows his docile, suspicious court will be a game of strategy requiring all of her wiles and hidden witchcraft to survive, but the lady does not know her husband has occult secrets of his own. She does not know that the prophecy girds him like armor. She does not know that her magic is greater and more dangerous, and that it will threaten the order of the world, but she does not know him yet, but she will. So this is a Lady Macbeth. It is a Macbeth retelling, but it features lady. It's about the lady of Lady Macbeth. So very excited to get into this. Love the pink cover. Love the sprayed edges. Love the Death Touch, Poison Eyed, Witch Kissed. This is just a gorgeous edition, a regular edition. Next is This Revenant's Fate, which was a pre-order for me. And this is another one of my most anticipated releases. So, it's 1926, and Reapers are growing stronger everywhere. Created creatures, century grows by a cruel medical experiment. These once human vampires were driven to attack without mercy. Those who protect the city from them hold more power than even the organized criminals who run the nightclubs. As a reluctant heir to her father's Reaper hunting empire, Elise Saint knows that the Harlem Reapers want her dead. Among them is Lila Quinn, who lost her parents, the protection of the Saints, and her humanity the night she was turned into a Reaper. And she'll never forget how Elisa Saint betrayed her. A wave of mysterious killings shocked the city, forcing Elisa and Lila to work together to find out if some Reapers are turning humans again, or becoming even deadlier. As their investigations take them from a glittering party to a gangster's underworld, the two must confront their complicated feelings for each other, for a new kind of evil is on the rise, one that will destroy Reapers and humans alike if they don't stop it. So I'm interested to read this. Harlem Renaissance, vampires, lesbians, all things that sound intriguing. Next is Mirror of Beast by Alexander Bracken. This is the author of... my mind is blanking. This was the author of the first book, The Silver and the Bones, so I won't be going over the description of this book, but Silver and the Bones is Arthurian legend, girl who, after her father figure goes missing, she has to take up his role in the treasure hunting guild, and shit happens, and this is the end of the duology. Very excited to get to it when I eventually do. So the last two books are my Fairy Loot books. I get 3 now. But the last ones I only got 2. I got the Romantasy and the Young Adult box. So from the Romantasy box, we have Bound by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, which is a sister, I believe, writing duo. So this is the gorgeous cover. And then we got the pretty rose sprayed edges. It's got this gorgeous rose design naked. It is awesome character art, gilded character art on the end papers. So we love that. I will read this description to you right now. So, 4 handsome Fae princes, 1 awkward bookworm, an enchanted veil, and a beastly curse to break. Rosaline O'Connell lives her life in Orca Cove as quietly as she can. When her father turns up missing, Rosie goes after him and finds herself in the Enchanted Vale, a land of the Fae. When Rosie locates her father, she discovers that he has been imprisoned, and Rosie has no choice but to make a deal with the 4 Fae princes to take her his place. As Rosie begins to learn more about the 4 princes she shares the castle with, she discovers they have been cursed. The princes must take on the form of demonic wolves every night, and with every year that passes, more of their magic fades away. If the princes can find themselves the mate, they will break their curse and free their realm. Rosie is determined to help them, but the only problem is the more time she spends with the princes, the more she is convinced that she will be the one they are meant to be with. The spicy Beauty and the Beast retelling filled with enchanted fae, morally great characters, a smoothly hot villain, and princes who have found her prince charming, all 4 of them. So I'm very intrigued in this. This one is actually one I'm excited to read because I know there's some fun stuff in this. The last book I have is the YA Fairy Loot book. And that is The Girl with No Reflection. And this is the gorgeous cover. Sprayed edges, the back of it naked, the front naked. It's got gorgeous reversible dust jacket art. And this is by Kessie Chow. And it's got gorgeous character art on the end papers, which we love. So this book is about, we shall see. So, Princess Yang Yu believes in love yet when she is chosen to be wed to the prince, Ying's dream of a fairy tale marriage falls apart. Her husband is to be cold and indifferent, confiding Ying to her room for the reasons he won't explain, and whispers swirl about 7 other brides who mysteriously disappeared after their own wedding. Left alone with her only reflection for company, Ying begins to see strange things in her mirror. And on the eve of her wedding, she unwillingly tears open the gateway and is pulled into another world. The realm is full of sentient reflections, including the enigmatic Mirror Prince. He is kind and compassionate, unlike his World War counterpart. And before long, Ying instant falls in love. But she soon discovers that 2 worlds have a blood-soaked history, and Ying has a part to play in both. And the brides who came before her, by the time they discover their roles, it was already too late. So I'm very intrigued in this. I mean, this is also just a gorgeous addition. Like one of the top Fairy Loot ones of the year. So I am very excited to get into this. All of the books I read, I think of the ones I got, This Ravenous Fate is going to be the one I read first. I'm planning on reading that in October. But yeah, those are the books I bought this month in August. What did you guys buy? And what, if you have any of these books on your TBR or didn't know about these books and now they are, let me know. I will see you guys next time. See you somewhere with a rainbow.